And my job actually spans across lots of different ideas and platforms. In simplest terms, I guess, I would describe my job as being the person here at the ASO who oversees the product. I am the person on the staff of the ASO who manages the schedule for the orchestra and determines what choices we make about what we do with each work week and each service, help to prioritize choices about doing this type of a concert or event versus this one, and helping the staff to factor in revenue versus artistic impact and balancing art and commerce all the time. Chief in my role here is that I oversee electronic media, which basically covers anytime the orchestra is recorded and reproduced, broadcast, anything of the like. I'm responsible for both understanding the terms and the parameters under which we can do it, negotiating the terms with other partners about how that would occur, and overseeing that the ASO manages the resources to make those kind of events happen. And that spans not only from a very specific and local role here in Atlanta, in working with the players in the orchestra to plan, discuss, and promote those kind of activities, but overseeing our recording arrangement with Telerik and Concord and other recording partners, as well as a role that I play as a part of a national management negotiation team that sits in tandem with members of orchestras and opera companies and ballet companies from all around the country in North America to hammer out and negotiate current and future media agreements. Add to that the notion that and the charge of me overseeing the touring and all the movement of the orchestra from A to B, not only on a local level to deal with concerts outside of Symphony Hall here, as well as touring the orchestra to Carnegie Hall, Florida, West Coast, domestic tours, as well as European tours and Asia and all kinds of international work as well. I'm trying to think. Further to that, I guess I would say that on a more local level, my job is to help the ASO in sort of a very general and overall way interface with the community. I'm the person on the staff who is the contact and go-to for major civic events that come up, and I'm the person who rallies the staff around responding to them. Case in point being things like a 9/11 relief concert we did several years ago, American Red Cross events, Mrs. King's homegoing services, and managing various sorts of events like that. I'm the point on that. I could probably go on and on, but that'll give you at least a general framework. It's a big job. I'm never bored. I guess I feel that the background I had before that prepared me very well for it. Probably leads into the next sort of question about how did I get from where I was to this. And the quick story for me is I come from Atlanta, and I was in the youth orchestra here for 4 years. So I've been an instrumental musician since I was 7, studied it with a passion and with a voracious appetite to succeed as a performer all through school, got a bachelor's degree at the Eastman School in bassoon performance. Towards the end of my tenure there, about the end of my 3rd year, I decided I might want to explore administrative career and just went after it. I started getting information, applying for internships, getting as close to the product as I could, and literally just one of the beauties of being young and not necessarily knowing what you don't know, I started to apply for entry-level jobs with orchestras and was lucky enough to be hired for one. And I started my first job at the Florida Philharmonic in Fort Lauderdale as an operations assistant, where half my job was loading and unloading the truck, and the other half of my job was ferrying artists around and other tasks assigned. And a lot of my performance-focused friends were very critical of that role and saying, how could you be a performance degree person from the Eastman School of Music and wind up driving a truck sometimes and driving people around? And I just said it's a means to an end, and it served me well. I was there about 9.5 years. I left there to assume a position at the Performing Arts Center of Greater Miami, which was an interesting construction project for a $465 million capital project to build an opera house, symphony hall, and a black box theater in downtown Miami, Florida. Was there 8 months, was recruited to the ASO right after I started, came here in 2000, I've been here